Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Today I'm redoing my icebreaker, not because I really like to hear the sound of my own voice, but because I flunked last week. Sorry. Instead of breaking the ice, I pulled the Titanic. I suppose I'll have to get climate change to help me out with the ice. But there might be a conflict of interest given that this is an environmental Toastmasters. However, I do put the mental in environmental. Alright, I'll cut it out now, or I'll flunk again. But it's something I'm used to. You know, I failed my road test 3 times, and I still haven't passed it. Fortunately, there's no icebergs on the road, which makes things a little easier. Anyway, I was born in 1994, AD that is, in Toronto, and I grew up in Vancouver. I spent most of my life on the periphery, at the margins of relevance, always on the outside looking in. In preschool and kindergarten, I was the kid who would put push pins in her mouth and spit them back out, or stick her hand in the fish bowl, or throw sand down her shirt while everyone was playing. Of course, I don't remember any of this, but it's what my alarm teachers relayed to my mom. After lunch, we'd have circle time in kindergarten, and I was never able to participate because as a slow eater, I'd still be finishing my lunch. I can't say much has changed because I'm usually still the last person to finish eating meals, although that might be more because I now eat more than twice as much as the average person, and also scavenge leftovers too. In high school, I likewise ate alone, eavesdropping as the other groups would make exuberant plans about their weekends, later to be documented on social media for my envious perusal. My loneliness subsided somewhat when I got a cat at age 15. He's called Hershey. However, the social skills I learned from my cat didn't necessarily translate to life at school. For instance, now I know that ignoring people and giving them the cold shoulder, or just staring at them, does not endear myself to them, although it was a tactic I used to get my cat to approach me. It wasn't until I moved to the Okanagan for 8 months last year, as part of my co-op program at UBC, that I really felt included in a group. There was this little cohort of students that we all hung out together every weekend. It was a bond that was born of circumstance and geography, because in a small town, it was called Summerland, there weren't many options for entertainment, and so we turned to each other for company and amusement. As we shed our inhibitions and affectations, we became fast friends, and also, in our little insular community, spiraled down a path of weirdness that grew just like the long winter nights in Summerland. A few more months and we probably would have turned into a cult, as most small isolated communities do. But fortunately we didn't. Paradoxically, the thing that set me apart normally made me feel included there. And now, as most life stories go, I suppose I have to say I learned something. I learned to embrace weirdness and learned that it's important to be silly sometimes. And I say sometimes because when I tried to carry that silliness into my next workplace, the boss, much to my surprise, wasn't impressed. Also in Summerland, I rediscovered my love of reading, something that had long lain dormant for some years now. Through some of my reading, I adopted some radical left-wing political views, as most young people do at some point in their lives. I also remember that as a child I had aspired to be a writer, and I wonder, where did that creativity go? Somewhere along the line, the mundanities and responsibilities of adult life had extinguished some of that. I am now trying to rehabilitate my atrophied creative faculties, although you wouldn't be able to tell from my third-rate poetry. I'm trying to revive the childhood dream that became a casualty of adulthood. In addition to writing, something creative that I wanted to do was improv comedy. However, I actually tried it this weekend, and it just wasn't for me because I'm not good at thinking on my feet. Really, the only spontaneous thing I can do is fart. Sorry, I don't like to make fart jokes, but it just came out and I couldn't help it. Thank you.
Well, I don't know what you made it again.